Hi. Well, today's video is going to be a little bit different. It is Thursday, March the 12th, and late Friday evening, my father passed away. And I still can't quite believe it. I mean, intellectually, you know that this is going to happen someday, but I don't think you're ever prepared. And I knew it was coming, but in a split second, no matter how much you prepare for something like this, it arrives and it takes your breath away. And although it was completely devastating and heartbreaking, it's devastating and heartbreaking. It was also one of the most meaningful times I ever had with him and my family. We knew that it was coming. We were very, very fortunate that he was very cognizant up until 2 or 3 hours before the end. We got to spend really great quality time sitting with him. I have a brother and a sister. He's got grandchildren, and we all just sat around and reflected on life and remembering fun times. We had several hours after he passed. He passed at home. We had several hours, like 4 or 5, that he was at home before they came to pick him up. I know it's hard to explain and it sounds really bizarre, but we really felt the presence of God in the room. So we didn't leave. We stayed with him until they came, and we talked about him. We talked to each other, and there was a comfort there. There was a peace. There was definitely sadness, but there was a kind of peace that settled over you in the middle of a heartbreak. As a family, we were able to talk about him, about what a great dad he was, what a loving father, what a great grandfather, what a loving husband he was. He was married to my mom for 62 years. It would be 63 years on June the 1st. And just sitting with him and talking and remembering and being together, eventually we had to place him in someone else's hands, and that was probably one of the hardest things we had to do. It was also the most precious time we've ever spent with him. And over the past 3 years, he's been sick for about 3 years. And over the past 3 years, I had so many times to sit down and have wonderful conversations with him. So nothing went unsaid. So that was the best part of this whole thing. Nothing went unsaid. I think he told me that he loved me about 10 times over the last week. And there were other things that he shared with me that were very meaningful. I will always keep in my heart that were between him and I. And they're personal and they're sacred. And I'm really happy I got to and spend those moments with him and talk to him and tell him how much I'm going to miss him forever. Where am I now? Since he passed, I can still hear his voice. And honestly, I hope that never goes away because I think that's a blessing. I think I'm going to need hugs, though, for a very long time. So friends and family, we're going to have to hold each other up. But the other thing one of the other reasons I wanted to come on here is I wanted to talk about how faith is everything. Grief is strange, right? It breaks your heart. But it also reminds us of how deeply we love each other, and how deeply you love your person and your people. Faith doesn't remove grief, but sometimes faith shows up in quiet moments when you feel at peace in a room that should be unbearable. And you know that it's only because of your faith and your love for God that it was possible to do this. My dad lived a quiet faith. He was a faithful man. He was a loving man. He had humility. He was very well versed in his Bible and in his faith. He, in the end, spoke about, for days, the last several days, spoke about being ready to go home, but knowing that we were going to miss him. But he wanted to give us comfort and say that, he's always going to be here, which he is. And that the Lord makes a promise to us. He makes a promise that even though we've parted ways here, we will be together again. That's his promise, and that's what gets us through. One verse that keeps coming up in my mind is Psalms 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Right now, that feels so true. Everyone probably watching this has lost someone, at least very close to them, or really good friend, or mom, a dad, a sister, a brother. I've lost grandparents, all my grandparents. But this is different. This is like a piece of me is not there anymore. And that person filled that small spot in my heart. But I've been praying so much over the last week because there's been a lot of planning and preparing and emotion. Some of our emotions are super high. We get upset. Some of them aren't. But I know that we're doing what my father would have wanted us to do, which is to honor God, to put him at rest so that he can wait for us when we're all together again. He did tell me, he goes, I'm really going to miss you. And I said to him, no, you're not. When you get up there, you're not going to miss us at all, but I'm going to miss you forever. I just wanted to come on today, and it's really hard for me because I'm like on that edge of crying all the time. I just wanted to come on, and my heart is so heavy, but I also wanted people to know there's hope and to rely on your faith. And that person that you love so much is with the Lord and is happy. And even though you're heartbroken, there is a light. And one of these days, you will see your person again. That is the promise that I stand on every day. And I know this was kind of a heavy one, but I just felt like there's somebody out there that needs to hear that somebody else is going through the same thing. I want them to know that it's going to be okay. Rely on God, because that's why he's there for you. And remember that promise that you will see your person again. That's what gets us through. Thank you. I will have a video for you sooner than 3 weeks next time, but it's been a crazy 3 weeks and I appreciate your patience. Talk to you soon.